Good morning. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I'm here today to do what I call a look back. We're going to look back at a classic rock album. This one goes back 50 years. Back to the early part of the 1970s when this album was released. I actually didn't get it until I was probably maybe 17 or 18, which would have meant that it was in the 80s when I got it. And 10 years old at that point. It was part of a catalog of albums that uh, I started out collecting because of my interest in the group. And the album is called the Yes Album by Yes, the rock band Yes. Okay, featured on this album, I'll get right into it, is John Anderson on vocals, Steve Howe on guitars, Chris Squire on bass, Bill Bruford on the drums, and Tony Kaye on the keyboards. Um, this album is one of my favorite albums, probably in my top 30, definitely in my top 30 albums of all time, maybe even as far up as top 20 on a given day. Uh, and part of my Yes catalog, it's right up there too, maybe even as high as number 2. I'm not quite sure. I haven't reviewed it too closely that way, but it's got some killer tracks on here. Like, the album is very proggy. It's got some heavy tracks. It's got some legendary, memorable tracks on here as well. We'll start off at the beginning with Yours Is No Disgrace. Yours Is No Disgrace is probably my favorite track on the album. It wasn't that way at the beginning, but over the years it just is such a catchy tune. And I was always curious where they got the idea from this, but I never knew where to search or how to ask. And then I found a video one time on it, and they were talking about how this album was made. And it was funny that they had listened to the theme song for Bonanza, and they kind of liked it and kind of incorporated it as a chug type of song for this one. So it's funny where they get the inspiration for these songs. But this is a real classic song, and I've seen videos of it. Like when it was almost brand new, like 50 years ago, with Steve Howe just cranking on this tune, man. The bass is good on this album, as only it can be. It's Chris Squire, right? I love the drum tracks. And John Anderson, he's just the voice of Yes, man. This guy, he's like in his late 70s now, and his voice hasn't deteriorated at all. He's still got it. He's still the voice of Yes, so far as I'm concerned. Nothing against the current guy singing for them. I think he's pretty good. He's got a strong voice. I don't think he has the kind of range or the kind of sound that John Anderson has, but he's pretty good. Anyways, the next song on this album, The Clap, is an acoustic bit, a classical guitar acoustic bit done by Steve Howe. I think it's his first. It's our first experience with Steve Howe as an acoustic guitar player, and you know what? I thought he was really good on this song, and I've since come to think he may be the best acoustic guitar player out there. And maybe in some way he's my favorite guitarist, so I might be biased here, but I think he's the best. Really adds an element to this album. The next bit is Starship Trooper. What can you say about this song? It just is melodic. It's got some really good guitar. It's got that riff that just goes on. It's just wow. It's just an amazing song, and it's a great headphone song, as is Yours Is No Disgrace and Perpetual Change. It's all super great with the headphones, man. Music written for headphones, you might call it. Anyways, we get to the other side, and the first song on the other side. This doesn't have sides on it, but and the vinyl album it did, and it was I've Seen All Good People. Rock stable, played a lot on FM radio. Probably, I don't want to say I'm burned out on it. I don't think I'm burned out on it. But I've heard it plenty. again, it's typical for me with songs from radio. They never end up being part of my favorite collection, just because they just overplayed. They just played them too much. If they had a little more variety, it wouldn't kill these songs as much. Maybe it would be different, but it's a good song, good harmonies, but not one of my favorites on the album. Venture. This is a song that I listen to quite often. It's a small bit on this album. It's kind of a backdoor kind of song where a lot of people don't even know about it. It's not really front and center in the catalog, but it's a good song. I hate to say it, it's because it's punish. I would venture to say it's as good as any other song on the album. I like it. Unfortunately, it's got to come up against some real strong competition here, so it's not going to finish as high as it would on most albums. And then we get to Perpetual Change. Perpetual Change is just another underrated Yes song. Should be played a lot more. And they tend to go with Starship Troopers and Yours Is No Disgrace, and I've seen All Good People get a lot more airplay. But this song is really good. It's especially good on headphones. It's a great headphone song. The whole album actually is. If you're looking for a headphones album, this is the one. This is one of the ones anyways. It could fit into a Pink Floyd catalog easily. And not that it sounds like Pink Floyd, but it just that has that kind of headphone soundish to it. Anyways, this album, 6 tracks, well done, great tunes, great musicianship, well written, fantastic vocals. It's a top shelf album, no matter who's producing it. And this is one of Yes's best albums. It doesn't have Rick Wakeman, so people tend to shy away from it a bit. But I'll tell you, it's well worth purchasing and listening to regularly. It's a great album. And this particular remastered version comes with 3 additional tracks: the Move, Starship Trooper, Life Seeker, and The Clamp. All just variations on the song. I'm assuming, I haven't listened to them, but it's an addition to the album. It can't hurt, right? Anyways, that's it for today's album review. The Yes album by Yes. Classic album, classic master album. If you don't have it, gotta have it. If you're a Yes fan, it's one of their best. Thank you. Anyways, have a good day from Prog Monster. Talk to you later.